Yo, what's good, world? You're now tuned into another installment of Four Quarters Podcast with your boys Fly Supply in the building. Today's topic is one that it's not so liked, right? So today's topic is the dark side of entrepreneurship. In this topic, we hope to shed light on the not so pleasant aspects of being your own boss and to empower anyone that may be going through these challenging times and remind them that there's always light on the other side of the darkness. So let's jump into it, y'all boys. We all entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
What are some of the dark sides of being an entrepreneur, y'all?
Man, the dark side is when your dream becomes a nightmare. She shit though.
Bars.
That's real.
Like, I ain't gonna lie, dog. Like, it used to be fun waking up, checking the social media and stuff like that. Like, literally, first thing out of your sleep, you thinking about the dream you chasing. And you chasing the dream, chasing the dream, chasing the dream. And then you continue to chase that dream every day. You just continue to chase, and sometimes it feels like you're not getting closer to your dream, and that's when it becomes a nightmare because you're just trying to get it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's the darkest side of something, or that's the darkest side of this, because when it gets like that, you could possibly lose your love for your dream. You feel me?
What turns it into a nightmare?
Not meeting your goals, not seeing things that you want to see in your business, not seeing the green, not seeing sales, not seeing the reaction that you want from your consumers. It depends on, what business you're in. I know for me, one thing is like, to when you don't see like people like responding to like your designs or receiving like the imagery that you putting out. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's one of the things that can convert it to a nightmare for real. You feel me?
Really?
Out the gate, you know what I'm saying? That's my biggest thing of it, because most of the times when you get into things, you getting into it for the long term. You feel me? So after years of, like chasing certain things and it don't get there, that's when it gets scary. You feel me?
Mm-hmm. No, I feel you on that.
Well, shit. You want to say something?
As far as the original question was like, what are some of the darkest sides of entrepreneurship?
It's all personal.
I think for me personally, it's probably the fear of failure, man. And then not only just failure, it's more so failing on a public platform. Because when you're an entrepreneur, you really have to put yourself out there. You don't have to. You could do a shadow business, but you're really letting the world know that I am doing something new. I would like everybody to receive it well. And if it doesn't happen, not only did it fail, but you also failed on the public platform. You want to kind of like pull that Homer Simpson and go back in the bushes. You know what I'm saying? Act like it never happened, but you got eyes on you now.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the biggest deterrents of even having people even pursue entrepreneurship is the fear of even failing.
Facts.
They don't even start at all. You know what I'm saying?
How do you combat that?
It's a tricky question because I think it's a different answer for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
So how does Reggie do it?
How I combat that is probably just I always came up with this fear of being average. You know what I'm saying? I never wanted to be just wake up work. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with that though. I seen my parents do it for years. You know what I'm saying? For years. But I also saw the downturn of it. You wake up and work, and then you don't really get the respect or the compensation that you really would deserve. After pouring so many years and energy into a company, and you just left with a pat on your back, you know what I'm saying, and a little social security check. But It's just I've always been one to like jump in the deep end and just figure it out, like learn how to swim for real. You know what I'm saying? Like I like to be in control of my own destiny, and that's not the easiest thing to do, because if it's not going exactly how you want it to go, and then you really gonna have to learn how to swim for real. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe even revisit like another option. But for me, it's just more so like just trusting myself and like you got to trust the work that you're putting in and hope for the best outcome.
Yeah, that's big. That trusting yourself is big and shit like that. Cause one of my things, you gonna say something?
Yeah, I was just gonna
go ahead, brother.
You asked everybody what is their dark side to entrepreneurship. I think it's kind of like the fear of not knowing. I'm sorry, I'm talking. Yeah, but just to answer your question, my one of my fears of the dark side of entrepreneurship is like the fear of not knowing what's next, especially when it's out of your control. So that could be a bit daunting because you know, with us, so many people rely on us to win and keep, and so many people rely on us to be ahead of what's going on. But like I said, when it's out of your control, then sometimes it's just really out of your control. So I know you didn't ask this, but the way how I try to combat it a little bit is just that when everything is going well, I would like to do what the wise person does in the beginning instead of what the fool does. You know what I mean? So what I like to do is when everything is going well, I keep everything even keel. Like I know you said this before, I think on one of the podcasts, like you just can't stay even. Yeah. And I do the same. I try to I keep everything even, and then when everything is going well, I try my best to invest in things that could be recession-proof, or so I think, because I mean, because I'm always, it may not be a good thing, but I'm always thinking ahead. And, I always understand that there's hills and valleys. And so when it's time to be in the valley, you want to be able to have something that's going to sustain you until it goes back up again. But but just to answer the question though, my fear and the dark side of entrepreneurship is not knowing. But like Reggie, I like that. I like the challenge though too. Like there's really no glass ceiling on what you can make. There's no cap on what you can make, and you get to grind and determine what you want your salary to be. But boy, whoo, when you don't know and it's out of your control,
different type of pressure.
It's a different type of pressure, boy.
And I think that's the biggest thing, like it being out of your control for real.
It could be out of your control too, and you could have a 9 to 5.
Nah, of course,
totally out of your control for real.
But I think even with the 9 to 5 though,
it just got somewhat of a control. It's set for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's set. They thinking for you, but like say your 9 to 5, you make 100,000 for the whole year. You can still do a lot with that. But then say like if you're working for yourself, you can make 100,000 in a month.
Yeah.
You feel me? So it's like, you know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
With freedom.
Yeah, with freedom. With some freedom. But I get it though. You know what I'm saying? Trust.
It just it depends on your outlook.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it just depends on the outlook. You feel me?
You just said the most important key word for me too, man. Is one of the biggest benefits outside of monetary gain is that freedom. Because we know a lot of corporate CEOs that's making crazy bank, but sometimes they be the first to off themselves. You know what I'm saying?
That's a bright side too. Like the freedom, the freedom.
That's the biggest thing for me. Is just that freedom, knowing that you could go to your kids' swim class, or you could go to your kids' football game, or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? You could take your moms wherever you want to take her, and catch a vibe for real. Sometimes you got to punch in. Hey, can I get this time off? Can I do this and that? Can I wake up at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning, get my workout in first before you put on your work clothes or whatever it is? Some people don't have that freedom, and you can't even buy that no matter how much bank you making, because you committed to this job, you committed to this career, and you know what I'm saying? You really can't be as flexible as you want. But on the flip side, another person could be making way less than that. Or let's just say a little less than that, right? Or half that person's salary, but they are happier. They have the freedom and the ability to spend time with their family, live within their budget, and still be up. You know what I'm saying? So it's a give and take with it. I feel like.
Yeah.
I agree.
The freedom is a bright side. If you somebody who's gonna do the right things with the freedom, your time and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It's the dark side if you don't have no discipline, no self-control. Probably like vices and shit like that. Too much freedom could mess you up with being an entrepreneur, cause you don't really have nobody to answer to. The only people you really have to answer to is the consumers, whoever you providing your service or your business to. Mm-hmm. But with too much freedom, and you could set your own schedule, and if you the type of person that could wake up and always feel a different way, then that's the dark side of it.
What you mean always feel a different way?
So like one day you may feel like you're motivated. The next day you might feel like, man, I'm motivated towards business is booming. We got some, girls, whatever. This work, I can get it done tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Then the next day you might just be sad because you spent the day trying to chase the girls and you wasted your money, and you know what I'm saying, now you got to get back to work, you missed now you depression and everything else kicking in, so you don't feel like working again. You know what I'm saying? Too much freedom is good for the person who built their mind and they discipline the right way to kind of like get through, like, you know what I'm saying, like stuff like that. But if you're not disciplined, then the freedom ain't really that good for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think I feel exactly what you're saying too. If you're not disciplined, I think whenever you get the opportunity, when you get blessed to be in position, and you're the set person, meaning that you're the leader pretty much in whatever space it is. It could be even if you work in a job. I just think that you have to recognize that I am the set person, and that it's not only about me. So like how you say with those feelings, when you feel like, say like, not you, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
people,
I know.
Yeah, when people feel like that, like I don't want to do it, I can't do it, I don't even feel like I want to do it today. It's like when the goal or the business is just not attached to just you, then you're gonna find a way to be responsible, to be on time, to work, to do what it takes for the business to thrive. You know what I'm saying? I think that's another dark side with entrepreneurship as well, is because and you choose to be there, right? It's not like you just like make them. It's not like you make a mistake to want to be an entrepreneur, unless you like something, you try something and you see, oh, this works, people are buying from you, and you like, now you into it. But when you commit to being an entrepreneur, especially with partners and stuff like that, man, it's just, you should want to have that. You should have that sort of discipline. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not just on you. You know what I'm saying? Because boy, if it get like that, it can get real wild. You know what I'm saying? And wacky. Yeah. You feel me?
Yeah, I was just mentioning it because it is a bright side. It's a blessing to have the freedom. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's a big blessing. The type of freedom that you get with entrepreneurship. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Like, how like, man, you know how like we was kids in high school, then we got that freedom when we were able to go off to college and shit like that. When you get that first taste of freedom, some people don't know what to do with it. They ain't as, you know what I'm saying, disciplined. They ain't never experienced nothing like this. Like, damn, this a Tuesday, 1 o'clock, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, I could go to the mall right now, you know what I'm saying? I could go to the beach. We in Miami, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody don't know how to deal with that type of discipline, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's a big discipline that kind of like have or develop for yourself, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's some grown man like discipline for real, dog. Like, to be able to have access to bread, women, whatever, and still take care of business, that requires like big discipline. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, for real.
See, but that's like real life. So it's like how you say you go to college and you just experience that for the first time. Boy, you start doing that shit, you gonna suffer. Like,
Yeah, you gonna flunk out.
All your shit's gonna, your grades gonna suffer, everything gonna suffer. And the thing is, you paying for that education. You paying for college and shit, most cases. So it's just like life. Like you start not being disciplined and like going crazy and just doing whatever you want without like thinking about your obligations.
Yeah.
And you start feeling them consequences for real.
Yeah. Because even when people was leaving on early release back in middle school, high school, what they was doing, getting their head smacked.
Yeah.
Like chicks was getting their head smacked. When you leave for early release, that'd be around the time that they're gonna set up where I can go to this dude crib or my boyfriend crib, whatever, or or whatever, man. Like you said,
well, he might set it up. Yeah, you go to the mall.
Yeah, but like if you're not disciplined in what you about to do on that early release, oh boy,
you might get in some trouble.
Yeah, it's gonna be trouble. So I guess it just moves forward with you through life too. Like you just said in college. Now that's more of an expensive bill. Either way it goes, whether you're on scholarship or you're not on scholarship, it's expensive. Because if you're on scholarship and you blow it, then you got to pay for it out of pocket. You know what I mean? So either way, you're gonna lose. You feel me? You know what I mean? But I know you was gonna say something, Reg.
I mean, you touched on something earlier. You kind of answered the question that I already was gonna propose to everybody. Like you said, what are some of the things that keep you grounded as far as knowing that you're in a position of you're an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
So what keeps you focused on the task, like as far as completing what you envision for whatever the business is or whatever the brand is? You know what I'm saying? Like you mentioned, knowing that you might be responsible for certain people. There's people that's counting on you, or whatever the case is. If I can answer it first, and I'll just ask everybody else, man. I think some of the things that I share the same sentiments that you just mentioned. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that you are responsible for whether you're head of household or whoever it is, your parents. It could be anybody.
Yeah.
I take pride in that. So I think that's what kind of keeps me disciplined when it comes to knowing that I've decided to just take my own life in my own hands and become an entrepreneur. So it's great responsibility because it's not just you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And as my family is growing, it's like now I got to really hone in and just be even more disciplined because, some people didn't ask to be here. So you gotta make sure you do your part. So I don't know what's some of the things that you guys exercise as far as staying on track and just knowing that I got to be on point or whatever.
Well, I think for me, the reason that one of the reasons that I try my best to stay disciplined is that number one, I have people that's dependent on me, and then also, man, I don't want to go. I love this freedom that we get for working for ourselves, and then just another. It's so many things, man. But man, I lost train of thought, man. But it'll come back to me. But like I said, the most you got people that's dependent on you, and then also I know that I don't have that sort of help. And so when you know that you don't have help, like if this fails for me, I know I can't go to a family member and say, can you help me out? And then, my pride, I wouldn't even do that, honestly. But I don't have that. And me knowing that, my action's going to show that I don't really have that. Because sometimes you have people that'll say, oh, I can't do this, or, I can't do this because I'm all I got. But the actions wouldn't show. You know what I'm saying? You might be out with them and you might see them doing stuff, blowing chips, and you kind of like, boy, it don't look like you the only person. Yeah. Like, boy, I might not do that. I might Pollo you to death. I might Pollo. While you Uber Eats, you doing Uber Eats. Because I know if it goes south for me, I know I might be I know I'm the guy who people are gonna come to.
I feel you.
Because they know that,
you're Mr. Responsible.
Yeah, I'm responsible. I'm irresponsible in a lot of other. What's that?
Are you supposed to do that?
Oh no! Yeah, that's what they think. That being that you're responsible, and just for the record, I'm responsible in some things and
Yeah.
totally irresponsible in other categories
Yeah,
in life. But
I know exactly what you mean. Bro.
yeah, but as
I
far
got a
as
new
like
link.
finances,
Yeah.
you know, I try my best for what I learned from other people's mistakes and from my own mistakes. I try my best to try to have something saved.
Yeah.
Cause like I said, I know it's only me. Like
Yeah.
it's only me. Like I can't ask anybody for that sort of help. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like, well, go
Yeah, I
on.
gotta actually second. Damn,
No, you did it.
I gotta actually second what G said. Like, as far as being the only person, like for real, it is only me for real. And unlike y'all, I don't have a family that I've started creating my own. I have my family, like my sisters, my mom, and everything. But I'm really out here dolo for real. So I think that alone, and being an entrepreneur, you don't have that safety net of like your 401k or whatever, like retirement or whatever. I ain't got none of that right now. Being an entrepreneur, I'm gonna set it up, but I gotta do it. It's not like automatically set up for me. So it's like I am out here dolo, like you said. And then when I ain't really get to touch on one of the dark sides for me of entrepreneurship, would be that self-doubt, and that imposter syndrome. And I feel like me being kind of like G said, like out here dolo and shit, I think it's easy to fall into that trap of, man, I'm probably not really going in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? That I should be going in, or that like that most people go in. So I feel like that part is one of the dark sides for me. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That's what keeps me going. Like I ain't got no safety net. I ain't got no choice. I ain't got no plan B. I came into this right here, Fly Supply. I came into this as a plan A through Z, for real. So I had nothing like set up for real. It's up until late I started realizing that the importance of having alternative, things set up where you could bring stuff in or whatnot. And then also financial planning and estate planning and stuff. I haven't gotten into that yet. But when I came into it, it's like I'm out here balls to the wall, like, man, this is it. So no school, no graduation, no nothing. I'm just like out here. So that alone is like kind of scary. I mean, when I think about it, when you're in the middle of it, I ain't really too much thinking about it. I'm just going. But you know what I'm saying? Being out here like just trying to get it. When you start sitting back and realizing, boy, this shit getting real. When like the financial hardships come, it gets real for real. You know what I'm saying? So with all the jewelry and all that, like, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's definitely like,
I can't go back.
that part.
I can't go back. I'm a runaway slave.
That part.
If I go back, they're gonna kill me, dog. They're gonna have their way with me. Yo, my
Well, I ain't gonna lie, you would make a good house and field, nigga.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't go back, bro. I just can't. That's a nightmare for me, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a nightmare, dog. So, like, even with, having somebody, dog, like, I feel like y'all, all us still feel the same way. Like, boy, like, people depending on me. You feel me? Like, I don't see us going back that route at all. Like, I can't fathom that. I can't foresee. I could play around with the idea, you know what I'm saying? But I can't see that being a reality for being that, you know what I'm saying? Like, we've been entrepreneurs for this long. Reg, you never had a job since, like, I known you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, me and G, we used to be in the field for, like, KP too, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then, like, when we quit, I ain't gonna lie, we did hold hands and jump off the bridge for real.
Facts,
You
bro.
did. You took the first leap of faith, was it?
Yeah. I was tired of my job. I was like, man, I'm out.
feel you.
Nah, I told
Yeah.
you, I'm done.
Yeah, a big another like dark side of being an entrepreneur is like, man, when you doing good, everybody think you got it, dog.
That's
Like,
crazy. I was good. I was gonna
Facts,
That's
bro.
crazy.
You know
Burden,
what I'm saying?
huh?
Like, so, like, what thing, you know, everything is not converted into dollars. You know what I'm saying? Even though it may seem like it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So somebody may see something on TV or see something in the mall and stuff like that, and they just count. They automatically, they like, damn, boy, you doing big. Like, all right, like, what? Then on Ridge, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like that's a dark side because of the fact that you got to promote your product. You promote your product. It's kind of like promoting yourself. And promoting yourself, people get to start counting their pockets and stuff
Facts.
like that.
I ain't gonna lie. One thing that be throwing me off sometimes,
Uh-huh.
I be in conversation, and then like like you a homie or something, and be like, "Man, y'all millionaires." Boy, in my head, I be like, I don't say nothing,
Yeah.
but I ain't gonna lie, bro. I like to be one for real.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. That shit ain't really. It don't add up to me. Like, that's not really the reality. It may look like it,
Yeah.
but that ain't it.
It's facts, man.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
What both of y'all just said is like, you know, it ain't even a perception thing that I think we trying to do. It's just sometimes we really be doing things, but like you say, it may not translate into immediate dollars.
Yeah.
It's a major look because
It's a seed planet.
it's another seed planet. Like going back to one of our most recent collections, like we big on planting seeds and then just waiting to like enjoy the fruits of our labor.
Mhm.
But the seeds that we plant, some people can't fathom that. Like sometimes we get those conversations like, yo, y'all just did something with the vice mayor. Y'all just did something with Lamar Jackson. Y'all just did something with such and such. These guys are millionaires. You know what I'm saying? We're just blessed to be in a position to even work with them, collab with them, and, you know, and monetize as much as we possibly can. But by no means are we there yet. I don't feel like, you know what I'm saying? But perception from some of our peers that we came up with, or just from the outside looking in, even strangers, man. It just looks like that. It looks like what it looks like, but we put ourselves in a situation where we work our ass off. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go off on a tangent, but we work our ass off, but we want to attain it so it can be sustainable in the long run, as opposed to just hustling and always looking the part. We just want to make sure that we cemented ourselves, we put the flag in the ground, and this is on autopilot, and this is where we at.
Yeah, and I think what added to that effect of us like having that look is because, like, you know, as Fly Supply over the years, we are like masters of packaging. So we know how to make things look amazing. Like whatever it is we do, if it's an event, products, we just master the packaging and make it look pristine. Like it's really $1 million packaging. We look like $1 million for real. So yeah. I could see why people would probably, you know, make it or think that it's one way because we make it look like that. So
I've been in the same rooms with people who be like, man, y'all straight, man. Y'all boys. I'm like, hey, hey, but we in this too, man. We working.
No, I think, of course, I think, you see, they're saying that because, you know, you're not in the back of the line. None of us are in the back of the line.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, even prior to doing Fly Supply, you was already renovating and buying properties before. It's facts.
Yeah.
The one that you had, the one in Miami Lakes when you gutted, you had the flyer and all that shit. So the thing is that you was already doing these things, and I think that's why it's important for us when we get on these platforms that we don't lead people in the wrong direction, because the fact of the matter is we're smart enough to know to do certain things when you get funds. We know what to do. And so when you have a platform and then you, not saying us but anybody, when you get a platform and you sharing foolishness, then you're misleading the people who look at us as shepherds. You see what I'm saying? And that's why whenever we get a chance, like, you know, we joke and we have a good time. We human. That's what we do. You know what I'm saying? We creatives. But that's why whenever I get opportunity, like, I'm always go back to what I feel is real or what worked for me, not necessarily gonna work for you, but I'm talking about what worked for me. You know what I'm saying? Because it is a difficult time. Because like even what you said, you beat me to it. Pretty much was the downside of the dark side of entrepreneurship is that if you want to take it even deeper, coming from the areas that we coming from, the reason why it gets so dark for me personally, and I know you guys probably share the same thing, is that for us, people feel like since we have accomplished some things, a lot of things, and I'm not gonna downplay that. And so what I'm talking about is 4 friends coming together to be able to leave corporate America or whatever type of jobs we had. Well, Reggie, you wasn't even working. You know what I mean? You always were doing your own thing. But the biggest accomplishment is that it's 4 friends that came together and built something this big, where you talked about collaborations with Lamar Jackson, and the list goes on. You know what I mean? And all that's cool. You feel me? But the back to with the dark side for me, what was like my personal thing that I don't really like is that the mindset of some of the people that we've been around, where they won't support the business, nor am I even complaining about it, because the people who support us from the beginning was overseas, and that's all facts. It's facts. But a lot of people who, let's say for instance, that ask for these sponsorships and stuff like that, they do not support the brand. They don't support the brand. This is the way how they're supporting, and the way they support it is that they ask for a box of free clothes. So now you ask for a box of free clothes, and then you want sponsorship. And then what we do, being the kind-hearted guys that we are, we turn around and we sponsor them for thousands and thousands of dollars. It's no fact. I mean, it's no cap. We sponsor these people, and then what happens is, if we're doing something and we send back out
you ain't gonna get nothing.
the sponsorship pack,
return.
Facts.
nobody responds back.
Facts.
And so I think that people don't really understand the concept. I think there's some backgrounds that really get it. So they know if I come to him for the roof, he came to me for the roof. I know he does plumbing. I need plumbing. I go back to him for the plumbing. So we keep the money in the circle.
Yeah.
Us now, I want a box from Rick or KP or Reg. I want a box, thousands of dollars worth of goods. I want it for free. And then I need you to sponsor me, and we do it. But then I'm gonna take my dollars, and then I'm gonna give it to another brand that I don't even know these people over here, and they won't even, you know what I mean? You can't get sponsorship from them. So I think that for me, that's like one of the biggest dark sides to it. But it's not really a dark side because we allowed it. So I think it's more so of a thing where we now have to start saying no and drawing those lines and be okay with it, because there's a lot of people who well, not a lot. I want to say probably a handful of people that may say like they don't agree with some of the things that we've done in the past, and it's okay, because if you really slow down the conversation, have a real dialogue with them, somebody who have sense will recognize that you're a complete fool of what you're saying and what your expectations are. Because everybody is responsible for their own wants.
Expectations or entitlement. Especially within our own community, man. I think that's when I ain't gonna cut you off.
No,
it's just when you said expectations, I'm like, sometimes it's freaking entitlement. It's crazy to me, man.
Yeah.
Like you said thousands of dollars. Some like add a couple more zeros to that. Tens of thousands of dollars, and turn around. You know what I'm saying? Won't even get a phone call back or a simple email reply back. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just that's the disheartening part of like entrepreneurship. You know what I'm saying? You really doing it like you said, 4 brothers coming together and just making something happen, and then putting ourselves in a position to give back. But then when it's time to like get some of that love back, it's just you'll spend your dollars elsewhere. Right? It's just that'll make you scratch your head a little bit.
Yeah. And it's not even just so much. It's not even like finances or anything. That it's like, man, if connect the dots. You know, connect the dots. You know what I mean? We do the work. You know, it's over 12 years doing work. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I love it because those are the things that keep me fueled to want to keep pushing forward. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, but those are things that since we talking about the top, we on topic. So I'm just, you know, sharing what's my personal, you know, that's a dark side for me. You know what I'm saying?
And the dark side for me is like another dark side. Like I know I said the dreams turn into nightmares. That was pretty like vague, but another dark side for me is like the stress that comes with it. Like I know, like for us, like we was just working straight through, especially like when we first started. Like we'll work through the night, work through the week, work every day of the week. You know what I'm saying? We was getting shit done every day. Probably Saturday to Sunday. It was fun. It wasn't draining, but like to the average person, you know what I'm saying? The energy that you burning, like chasing the dream, it could like burn you out. And people are amazed at us, like, how y'all do all this? How y'all do all that? But we like 4 fucking machines for dog. Like go to work, get off from work. KP holding it down during the day. He wasn't working. Get off from work, burn an hour just to eat or like say hi to the fam, then get straight to it. Work throughout the night. Wake up, do that whole thing again, kid. Yeah. And the burnout is real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit, we just started really taking, like, time off. You know what I'm saying? As far as, like, vacation time, like, trips and shit like that. Before, when we first started, like, being entrepreneurs and shit, the only vacations we used to have was paycations. You know what I'm saying? Like, going to Atlanta, going to Vegas and doing work out there and shit like that.
Yeah, like, only time off.
You know what I'm saying? That was our only little breakaway from reality. You know what I'm saying? And then when you hit as soon as we touch down, that first day back is like, all right, we gotta hurry up and we gotta cash out.
And get all these sales.
Yeah, these POs ain't shit if we don't make a move. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and then we boxing them up and shit. Shipping them out and shit.
Yeah. I'm surprised we ain't get burnt out early, bro. It was fun though. I ain't gonna lie.
For me, those were my. I like to say.
Those are the funnest times.
Those are the funnest times, man.
We used to make it fun though, dog. Like,
but it was a fun time too. The whole marketing shit was.
The whole world was better.
Energy, the world was different too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And shit. If we could be a little bit transparent, I think you mentioned this about a couple days ago, Cap. You was like, sometimes, man, it just ain't fun no more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, but that stuck with me because, you know, you feeling that way. Now it's becoming routine. Now it's becoming you chasing a number. It's no longer being creative. You low-key find yourself, like, taking shortcuts. But that creative energy is hard to just tell yourself, all right, like, let's get to it. Like, the self-motivation. Like, I'm a very self-motivated person, though. I don't really need nobody to put a battery in my back, but I've been having to find myself, and thankfully my wife, you know what I'm saying? Or just having anybody, like one of my dogs and shit, that's like, oh, no, boy, this ain't it. Let's keep rocking. Let's keep rocking. We just got started. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes me having that self-motivation, I find myself having self-doubt now. And I got to get back, man, to just tapping into how great we are. You know what I'm saying? How great we are as individuals and shit, and just owning it.
Yeah. You was going to say something?
No.
Nah, I think, I ain't going to lie, I totally agree with what you're saying, but I think, too, a lot of that burnout,
self-inflicted.
It's self-inflicted. I think that we took on certain partnerships that that probably wasn't great, but you know,
meant to be long term.
Yeah, but I mean, it's all a part of learning. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you know, we took on certain partnerships, but you know, this it is great though. I mean, like even this, like look what we're doing right now. Like over 12 years ago, we were thinking about holding no mic.
Facts.
And now we learning, like, I'm practicing now, like, holding the mic, you know what I mean, how to rock the mic, but, you know, and pause, but, you know what I mean? But, you know, look at where we're at now. Like, so, everything that we've been through, everything that, we, you know, we're going to be able to, like, teach this, you know what I mean? So, it's kind of like, there's certain people that the gurus, these speaking gurus, can't reach, and only us four could really speak to them and speak to where they're at right now. You know what I mean? And we can be able to keep it transparent because we're still connected in some way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you know, it's all needed. It's necessary. I don't like it. I ain't gonna play it like, oh, I love this part of the journey, but. You know what I'm saying?
The dark side?
Yeah, I don't like it, but this is where you build character, and this is where you really build strength.
Yeah, and then it's something to look back on too, dog. Like those times when we did have discipline, we used to take breaks, go to the strip club, you know what I'm saying, get some chicken wings, go back to work. But we had to have discipline. Yeah, we used to go to Coco's, you know what I'm saying, get the wings real quick. But we had to have discipline, like for real, because in the 20-30 minutes we waiting for our food, we sitting there looking at strippers,
coming up with ideas.
Up with ideas. We might get a dance. We might have some drinks.
Right back to the shop.
Right back to the shop afterwards. You know what I'm saying?
Some curry wings and Guinness.
Yeah.
Hey, not to cut you off, but because what you said led to my next question, what you were just saying right now, dog, and even what you saying.
Mm-hmm.
So, what you just said, we could consider that like the light at the end of the darkness. Like here we are 12 years later doing what we're doing right now, sitting in front of cameras, speaking on mics about our experiences. And so what would be the light, what's the light at the end of the tunnel that you saw, each one of y'all saw, like going through the darkness of entrepreneurship?
The light at the end of the tunnel for me was financial freedom. Another light was really just doing something that made me happy, dog. I wasn't happy doing what I was doing. I was tired of fucking, like, I used to do it good, like, you know what I'm saying, like, it used to be good money too, like, shit, the last time I worked, that was 2012, dog, like, I was making good bread, you know what I'm saying, I was making enough to do pretty much like some of the stuff I do now, you know what I'm saying? But shit, I wasn't happy with that shit. I remember when I used to have a green ass supervisor, like, and he wasn't green to the fact that he had the characteristics of doing it's just like you could tell he was a dweeb, and then at this I'm trying to be nice, you know what I'm saying, too, by saying that shit.
Was a dweeb.
But he was a dweeb, bro, and like, you know what I'm saying, he be trying to come down on me, like, bro, man, get out of my face before I like tie you up or something, bro. Like, I used to have dreams of doing stuff to people at my job, dog, like hurting them for real, dog. And that's the only time I ever, when I did have to go to therapy to like get time off, that's the only time I really like kind of like expressed how I was feeling, so that, you know what I'm saying, they could give me the time off. But I used to be sleeping thinking like, damn, dog, I'm finna, like, I used to be really having dreams I had a fight with somebody at work, dog. Like, yo, they ain't even me, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I ain't gonna lie, boy. The light at the end of the tunnel is not going back that way, you know what I'm saying? Like, just being happy, like, just coming up with ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it ain't my idea and we just making it happen for like, you know what I'm saying, just really like working at something, being creative. Because even if it ain't my idea, G may come up with it, Reggie, KP, whoever, like me just putting a helping hand in to bring something that was in the fucking thin air to reality. I love that, for real, dog. Like, that, it's the coolest thing, like, for real, dog.
Well, I think you said the light at the end of the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, you talking about over 12 years, I think it changed for me. Mm-hmm. I think, because I think when you talking about over 12 years ago, it was just all about just and it's still this wanting to be free, but it was also like, you know, getting that bag too, and it's still that for sure. But I think like over 12 years now is like what's added to it. I think one of the biggest things is like have purpose in what we're doing. So I'm glad that it's four of us because we all got like, you know, we all bring different things to the table. So it allows me to go off on a tangent on stuff that I really like will want to touch and bring back to the company. So the light of the tunnel for me is really being leader of men, and also doing certain things that repair families. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I see the light of the tunnel. Because I hear the questions that people ask us all the time. You know what I'm saying? I hear the vulnerability, you know, that we all put out there individually and stuff like that. And a lot of times, even when I see you guys create, I always be like, man, if I was just a fan of Fly Supply, I like what you putting out. You know what I'm saying? So like even like as we do this, I take myself from out of it, and I'm the person that's watching the show, and I'm just like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, that was real. I ain't gonna lie, boy. That boy Rick said something. That boy Cap said something. G said, Red said something. You know what I'm saying? And so when I look at it from that standpoint, you know, I look at it like, I ain't gonna lie, boy. Them boys, they know the way. In that way, as far as being vulnerable, like on other shows where we talk about heartbreak and talk about funds being low, but like pushing through it. Talk about holes in the shoe and not worrying about it, and you know,
not having holes. My bad. I thought you said hoes.
Oh, not holes in the
I
shoe.
thought you were saying hoes too.
like holes.
I was like, what I said about hoes?
Yeah, like holes in the shoe. But I think like what we represent. I think though what we represent is bigger than clothing.
Yeah.
It's like it's way bigger than clothing. It has nothing to do with that. I don't think that we was allowed the opportunity to be able, like, because if it was just all about clothing, then death would have stopped a lot of things. Because there was a lot of tragedies that happened.
Yeah.
So it's bigger than all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like how you spoke about divorce, you know, and stuff like that. Boy, you know what I'm saying? Like that's enough to stop it. I was talking to my big bro Chris. I talked to my brother Chris. I remember he told me like a couple of weeks ago, he was like, man, gee, boy, do you know a lot of these people that's out there hitting the pipe and on the bottle that they went through something. It's something that caused they went through something and they couldn't get through it.
Yeah.
And that's why they're at where they're at. Like there's a lot of people that couldn't go through a heartbreak. There's a lot of people that couldn't go through a divorce. There's a lot of people that couldn't go through grief.
Yeah,
and that's why they hitting that needle. Or that's why they killed themselves. So you like, well, we still in the race. So I feel like Fly Supply, we're those dudes that's able to connect the dots where, you know, people will reach out to us and just do things on the love. Like Lamar, I don't even know how that Lamar Jackson thing came about. Rose, you know,
UD.
Ocho, UD. And a lot of people we did collabs with and don't even want no bread. At the end of the collab, y'all keep that. Hold on to that. I don't even want it. Yeah. So it was something that I think we was swift in our obedience to start the company and move in it. And then like since we were moving in it, then I feel like God was putting together those pieces. Like who gets a Rihanna look for the free like that?
Big facts.
Everything being for free. We ain't pay for no promo, no ads. How you get a 50 Cent? How you get a Yo Gotti? How you get
all of it?
The Young Doss? How you get? It's countless. All the list goes on and on and on. You feel me?
Don't know how they got them.
And don't know how they got them. How you get a Timberland?
Yeah.
You feel me? So that's why, like, again, when I'm on the platforms, I gotta know it's not me. I gotta know it ain't that. You feel me? It can't be me. You know what I'm saying? So, but to sum it up, I know that was a bit long-winded, but I think the light at the end of the tunnel is to help build strong families and build men.
100%, bro.
Yeah, man. So I don't even know how I'm come behind that. Pause, huh? I had to pause on that. I just let it loose. But Nah, but as far as the light at the end of the tunnel, man, I think we all just all y'all just touch base on same like thoughts that I have as well. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, of course, financial freedom. You know what I'm saying? When you're in this position to like really not have to stress on certain things and you can freely think, I think being financially free allows you to dream as well. So that plays a big part in it. Is that the only part? Nah. You know what I'm saying? I think the impact that we've done and that we continue to do and that we strive to continue doing is what keeps me motivated. You know what I'm saying? It's dope to hear that even from my own family. It was like, yo, y'all the first like dudes that I know from around the way that made it for real. That's a good feeling, man. That's way more rewarding than any new pair of whatever, jewelry, whatever. That always like, damn, that's dope. Or like that feeling never gets old. Just walking through the Dade County Fair and you seeing somebody wearing Fly Supply. That's dope. It was to the point that when that used to happen, we all would hit each other up, like, boy, I'm at the mall, boy. I done seen X, Y, and Z design on dude. We don't even know these people. It's just that feeling was just a good ass feeling, man. Yeah. And walking through the mall, you see this big ass FS on somebody's back, not knowing that we probably bagged that shirt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just it's a crazy feeling, and to see it, and then from there, touching the work to literally being in like the Nordstroms and Foot Lockers and all these other big doors or whatever the case might be. Those it just shows your journey, and that's a journey that I don't want to get off. You know what I'm saying? I think we got a lot of work to do, and you know I know we ain't got no quit in us. Like and the impact that we've done, I think that's the motivating factor. Is just to keep going.
Have y'all cried as an entrepreneur, like over business issues, like?
Like cried, but probably cried internally. You're like, it hurts. Where? Everywhere.
Like, nah, I ain't gonna lie. I didn't cry, but boy, I had like
it stings, dog.
Yeah, I had like being in the shower and like having combos by myself, and just kind of like thinking like, yo, like, boy,
laying in the dark, looking at the ceiling.
Oh yeah, watching that one fan.
I think my darkest time of entrepreneurship was the shit we went through with Chad. I think that was my darkest, like as far as like feeling. I remember I was like, cause I don't normally share nothing with Margaret about like anything I got going. You feel me? Mm-hmm. With our business. As long as the shit handled is handled.
Yeah.
But it was a little personal too, cause you know what I'm saying, that was her friend as well. So I'm just sitting there, dog. Like I remember, dog. And coming off, we talked about like depression and shit in the past. Like I was sitting there, I was so confused, dog. And I just started like just telling them about everything. And it's like, man, you just sitting here talking to me for all this time. You ain't say nothing good yet. So I was like, damn, dog, I'm fucked up right now. You feel me? Yeah. And being that I was like personally attached to the person and we was cool. And at the same time, it was like on some business shit. The nigga was really like I don't even think it was like decision fatigue. A nigga knew what had to do it, just my feelings wouldn't even really let me do it, dog. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's the darkest side to entrepreneurship. When you gotta like, and that could be, you could be a boss too, and that be, but when you gotta make those tough decisions of when to move on, when to let people go and shit like that, you feel me? That was I ain't cried nothing like that, but I did feel all the feelings that came with it, especially when things got a little out of hand, you feel me? Yeah. So.
Making those hard decisions is real. Them hard decisions, real, for real.
Something that we all still struggle with to this day, man.
Yeah, gee.
That, if you riding with us, you riding with us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just wanted to give one of, like, I'm going to keep it G. I just wanted to let niggas know, like, boy, this shit, like you say, it's light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
But this thing ain't no walk in the park, dog. No. I remember one time me and KP went to go see, this when we first started doing cut and sew. And at first we was sending stuff overseas and letting them grade it themselves. And the shit wasn't coming back right. So we found a grader.
Fred.
Yeah, Fred, this Jewish guy. And he was just talking to us like he was probably been in business over 40 years or some shit like that, just pattern making. And he was just looking at us, just like, just happy to be talking to new energy and shit like that. It's like, man, you guys got balls.
Yeah.
You gotta have balls to be in business.
Yeah.
And all he kept saying is like, man, it's just giving us pep talks on how to stay strong and shit. I'm like, the fuck he talking about? You feel me? Like, cause back then we wasn't nowhere near none of the stuff that he was trying to gear us for.
Mm-hmm.
We wasn't feeling that way.
Facts.
But now, like in hindsight, like I replay the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like I replay the conversation all the time, and like no matter what, you just gotta have balls to go through this shit.
Yeah.
You feel me? You gotta have heart, cause it ain't no cakewalk. It ain't no walk in the park. Sometimes you go feel like people support. Sometimes you go feel like people ain't supporting. Sometimes you might want people to repost. Sometimes they ain't. You just can't take it personal. You just gotta keep going and keep strategizing, keep being creative. You know what I'm saying? Just you gotta go through it.
You gotta go through it. That boy gonna sum it up.
Nah, you can sum it up.
Well, yeah, well, shit, man. Like Rick DeVry just said, you just gotta go through it. And with our experiences that we've gained over the 12 plus years and shit, and still going through it, I ain't like you said that was the darkest time.
Yeah.
It's dark right now.
Yeah.
For me. So, yeah, man. But I know it's light at the end of the tunnel. That's why I'll just keep going personally. I'm going to keep going for these boys. I'm going to keep going for my fam. You know what I'm saying? I just got to do it in my own vibe because, I know I'm summing it up for me personally. This is a personal thing right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like my little video journal right now. So I just pretty much got to do it in my own vibe. And I like to personally just be still when I'm kind of like going through it. And I've been like that for a while. But now I feel like, especially now in this market, in this current like financial environment, like the whole market itself, no one has the answers, no one knows anything. So everybody, we all just throwing shit at the wall for real.
Mm-hmm.
Throwing a bunch of shit at the wall and seeing what stick. We gotta ask some questions and stuff like that. But all in all, we still just going through it because we know it's light at the end of the tunnel. So you're not alone. You out there. Y'all not alone, man.
Mm-hmm.
We all going through it. It look like we balling, but we balling in freedom. We got freedom. And it's more than just financial freedom. My bad, I'm going off on a tangent.
Nah, go ahead.
Financial freedom is a huge part. Time freedom is a huge part. Freedom in general is just huge, but the freedom to be who you are and who you were designed to be, that's big.
Priceless.
You got to be 100% you. I know a lot of people ain't really 100% them, especially in the age of social media. Everyone's trying to see what personality works and then adjust to that personality.
Mm-hmm.
But when you could kind of like pick yourself up to gain the financial, time, and personality freedom, then that's when you're winning for real. So it's light at the end of the tunnel.
Always.
Especially with 4 quarters.
4 quarters.
4 quarters, baby.
4 quarters.